Which are your favorite Marshall products?
All of them. There isn't anything bad at all. I've never heard one bad thing. They're all really, and especially now they've got a wide range of stuff that's very cool. Especially the new JMD amp is just ripping. It's a digital front end, and it encompasses all of their amps in that one amp, while using tube output section, so you maintain the traditional Marshall sound. But if I had to pick, I own a JMP amp that's a 79 JMP that I've had for I got it in 1980 or 81, I believe, and that amp has been with me through every recording, every tour. I've loaned it to people that put it on their records, and sometimes someone, hey, can I rent your amp? Oh no, sorry man, it's in storage or it's on tour or whatever. But that's my all-time favorite amp. It's just a 79 JMP 100 watt. It's great.
Could you please tell me something about your current touring setup, amp setup?
Well, it's based around that amp mainly, but I also have a vintage modern that I use a lot. I was lucky enough, I was honored to help launch the Vintage Modern in 2006, and it's a really special sound. It's a real hybrid of old and new together. So it's got that plexi, vintagey plexi feel, but it's got a little extra gain that that is good for the kind of music that I play, and then I also have. Actually now that I'm working with Marshall, once in a while they'll let me borrow a prototype of something they're working on, and then I'll give it back at the end of the tour. But I have now I'm going to incorporate the JMD in there because I really dig that. With my rig, I can switch between 3 or 4 heads, and whichever head I pick goes through all the cabinets. It's not like the old days when you chose this head, then you were going through that cabinet, or if you chose this head, then you're going through that cabinet. If you switched it with the rig that I have, whichever head I pick goes through every cabinet, and so it's cool because you can program some different patches and go from a really clean, crunchy sound on the Vintage Modern and go to a totally over the top, crazy solo sound with another amp and just hitting a button. Marshall is really special to me as people, aside from being a company, and so when they've got something new, I'm always wanting to help in any way I can, and of course if there was something that that I didn't want to do, I wouldn't do it, but their amps are always right on the cutting edge,